Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about how, as of 2023, Ghostface seems to be the remaining slasher who still wears a costume and mask. It's weird because, it was like a few days ago, I started thinking about this because there's a show I'm going to be talking about soon. And in the show, there are like a group of people who do bad things and they wear masks, but they don't wear a costume, they just wear hoodies. But that's a TV show. And that's something I thought about. There's just a pinch similarities to that of Scream in this show. But mostly it's just more of a Pretty Little Liars ripoff. Then I decided to watch an episode of Scream, the television series. And then I stopped and I thought about it. And I'm just like, you know what? Where are all the costume slashers at? And then it dawned on me, there are no more. Ghostface is literally the sole survivor of like the whole genre of slashers wearing costumes and masks. And that's quite an accomplishment because Ghostface is still going strong in the Scream franchise. People love Ghostface. They love the costume, they love the weapon, they love the voice and everything. And it's kind of weird that a movie that reinvigorated the slasher craze in the 90s would be the sole survivor of, a person wearing a costume and being a slasher. And, Winnie the Pooh doesn't count because technically it's not really in the movie universe. It's not a person wearing a costume. It's literally Winnie Pooh just going cuckoo in the head and everything and looking pretty scary. And, slasher movies have been around since like the 70s and the 80s. Sometimes you had a regular person being it with just a regular knife and wearing clothes. Other times you had a person wearing a costume and they had a variety of different weapons, a chainsaw, a machete, knives for fingers. There was always that aesthetic of them wearing a costume or some form of a mask. It was the holy grail of slasher movies and stuff. And as like the 90s started coming around and all the sequels started to suck and everything, it quickly died out until one awesome movie came around. And that movie is, of course, Scream. And it gave us one of the coolest slashers of all time, Ghostface. And as we all know, everybody tried to copy Scream. And I mean everybody. There were so many slasher movies coming out left and right. It was insane. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Valentine. My Bloody Valentine got rebooted. Did I already say I Know What You Did Last Summer? If not, then I'm saying it again. Urban Legend. Oh, what else? Because I didn't watch that many, so I don't know. There was one I will always something you with Joey Lawrence, and it was a terrible movie. Oh my God, it was a terrible movie. But then you have, of course, Jigsaw, he's kind of a slasher. He did wear a costume. And technically, his movies are still out now, but he's not wearing a costume. He's just showing his face. And so, but of course, that movie genre is going to end again soon, so that don't really count. And then, there have been TV shows that done, but TV shows don't count. I'm just thinking about the movies. And, the Halloween movies have just ended again. I don't know when they're ever going to do anything with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies and stuff. And the Friday the 13th movies are done. So it's kind of like, Scream is the last person standing. And I remember I watched a review on Scream 6 where a guy said since Scream is going more of the true life crime movie route, or murder route, I should say, maybe it's time to retire Ghostface and just have a regular person running around with the buck knife and stuff, maybe a hoodie. And I thought about it, and I can see where it could go into that genre and stuff. But I don't know, it will lose something. Like Ghostface is literally the mascot of Scream. When they decided to make the I Know What You Did Last Summer novel into that of a slasher thing, of course they gave Ben Willis a costume. But then when they did the television series of that, they did away with the costume and just had a regular person doing the killing, but you never really saw that person doing the killing because, oh my God, that was a terrible show. And well, like I said, they needed the costume and everything. How can you, like, yeah, the novel wasn't like that, but the movies were. And when they robbed people of like the slicker outfit and the hook, it took something away from the meaning of I Know What You Did Last Summer. It lost its mascot and everything. It just didn't feel the same. And they don't have to wear the cloak in like Scream. I remember when they did the TV series of Scream, one time they had the Killer with just the mask on, the gloves, and like shirt and the pants because they ditched the little poncho looking cheap little thing he had, and it still looked cool and menacing and everything. But you know what? It's just crazy because Scream is one of the greatest slashers of all time, and it's still somewhat going strong today. There's been some bumps and everything, but like, I don't know, man. I would never want to see Ghostface go away. And it's just weird how there aren't that many slasher movies no more like there used to be in the late 90s and early 2000s. They was coming out the like the woods and everything, man. And now they've kind of like just gone away again and they're trying to crawl their way back, but not much success. Even Scream is like struggling and crawling and stuff. But, I don't know. Like, would they ever abandon the costume? Scream 7 is supposed to take place in like the snowy time, winter. And we've never seen that with Ghostface. It would look pretty cool, especially in the poster of him around like covered in snow and being around snow and, but like, I don't know. Like, let's say what they do the dumb thing of like I still know what you did last summer and put Ghostface on a beach resort. It's not gonna have that same feel. Like if he runs around in that costume on a beach resort, it's not gonna have that same coolness to it. It's just gonna look kind of ridiculous. And even though I haven't seen The Orphan yet, the first one, I saw the second one. And with the first one, I did see clips on YouTube of like, what all happened. And there's the ice scene, the ice lake scene where, Esther's out there with a knife and just her regular clothes. And that was menacing and everything. And it's just like slasher movies are getting away from the costume. And it sucks because that's part of the mystery of all, And I don't know. It's just, if they were to abandon it, I hope they give them like an alternative cool looking outfit that's similar to the costume, but just different. But I don't know. I still think it's just kind of cool how Scream has like, is the sole survivor of the costume wear and stuff. Alrighty. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.